So Pisces, your December forecast begins with a big collective in the most visible part of the sky in the sign of Sagittarius, shaping up for you personally. Now it's late in the year, but if you have got hopes to seize a role, promote your business, start a new one, this collective at the start of December is really going to give you a chance to use your authority, Mars, but also your people skills and your diplomacy, Venus, along with the energy of the Sun to try to raise your profile as best as possible. But there are going to be some home and family emotional considerations that show up by the full moon of the 4th in the quick-witted sign of Gemini. There may be that classic work-life balance scenario. So if you are really going for it about something that you've been manifesting for some while around a goal or ambition, or your interface in terms of your responsibilities is going up, you can't control the timing of the year, and it may be that it's so important you have to really concentrate and seize the moment. And that could mean a juggle, but it may also mean that some people close to you won't necessarily get that you do need to be very disciplined in order to promote your situation as best you can. And that full moon could bring those energies to the fore. But Mercury, the planet of communication, starts this month in a part of your chart that's to do with knowledge. And your knowledge, your expertise, or your appreciation, whether it's around property, technology, business, travel, that can be very important in the early parts of this month. What's not to like? Well, the thing is, Pisces, as this golden opportunity shows up for you, so your personal energy and physical vitality might not be equal, as it seems to you, to the task. And that is something that you're not imagining, because astrologically Saturn has been going through your sign for the most part over the last couple of years. Your modern ruler, the aquatic Neptune, has been in your sign 4 times since 2012, apart from its journey earlier this year briefly into Aries. And both of those over the last couple of years have meant that you have had to narrow your focus. You've had to concentrate on what's really important. You haven't necessarily been able to spread yourself as thinly as you may have done in the past. You've had to really prioritize. And as this big opportunity shows up for you, you might not feel that you have the energy or capacity to take on this big chance of a breakthrough. The best way to deal with this is to make sure that you think about your overall situation. We all know that the festive run-up can be very stressful. We're juggling lots of celestial plates, whether it's kids' activities, parties to do with work, maybe in our local community, and therefore this big thrust forwards in terms of your ambitions, goals, work, career, responsibilities does come potentially at a very untimely moment. But I want you to know that however much it feels challenging, with Neptune going direct on the 10th, that can help. Mercury moving back into Sagittarius, where it left on the 19th of October, on the 11th, emerging from shadow on the 17th, that's going to help you to find the words and the strategy to juggle the best you can. But also on the 15th, do know that Mars, the planet of action, moves into a friendly part of your situation. Mars can be about our ego in its more negative form, but it also in the 11th house can be an ability to be true to ourselves, but also collaborate. So if you can work collectively with people, even if it means letting people in on your moments of glory in some ways, it's actually going to be a very smart thing to do. Now, we are going to have Mercury emerge from shadow on the 17th and then the new moon on the 20th. And that new moon, rather like Mars and Venus before it, is going to prime up opportunity. But again, it may be a bit of a juggle. And then there could be a chance that comes up for you, a job offer, which in some ways doesn't necessarily allow you to express your individuality quite in the way you want. For example, it may be with a big corporation. It may be in an environment, a sector which is a bit more staid. It's not so fluid or creative. But don't dismiss it. that juggle is just part of the process you need to go through. And know that if you can stay cool with Venus's help, keep the lines of communication open, make sure your personality power and that part of you, the mutable part which can flex, is such a strength of yours. It helps you to survive office politics often. And the link that Venus makes with Saturn and Neptune, again, it may be that someone close to you is not quite getting that you really need to put this opportunity to the fore despite all those different demands, because on the 21st, when the Sun moves into the sign of Capricorn, we have the winter solstice, cardinal quadrant 4 comes in, and a much more sociable dimension starts to shape up for you, followed by Venus on the 24th, and you will find yourself wanting to really release some of the pressure you've been through, to enjoy being with other people, meetups, mixing, mingling, all the things that are very much to do with Christmas. And a lot of those worldly pressures of earlier in the month can start to fade away. And as you go into the new year, despite the fact that Pluto is in a very psychological part of your scope and will be through to 243 initially, before jumping into your sign, leaping back into Aquarius and returning to you in 244, yes, there is a lot of things in your past you do need to let go of, that you need to release, that no longer serve your greater good. But this year ends with a very bright outlook for you, particularly if you are able to marshal your ambition, your drive and your leadership talent with an ability to connect and network to people in a collaborative and cooperative way. You've got it all together. It's just your energy may at times not feel equal to it. But just take one day at a time and prioritize what's really essential for you, and accept you can't do it all. It just isn't going to be possible this month. If you've yet to watch your year 2026 deep dive forecast, please see the link below this video. If you've yet to order your personal forecast for year 2026, you can do so now. You'll also get your life roadmap report, which helps you to understand the patterns that are played out in your life so far. The combination of the two will help you to plan your moves in the months ahead so much more effectively. 30% off, free gift of your general, love, Chinese and Indian written forecast for each of the 12 signs. Please see the link below for more.